Hello, everybody. Welcome to Browns and Beyond, your home for Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, and other sports content. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you stay locked into all the latest sports content. And most importantly, drop us a comment. We want to hear your thoughts. All right, boys, here we are. It's a Thursday night, Christmas Day. Guys, how's your Christmas? A little football on today, a little basketball. How's your Christmas going, guys?
Well, Brent, I have to say I've enjoyed mine. I had a nice Christmas dinner, opened up some gifts, enjoyed some, I guess, mediocre football. I mean, we haven't had any meaningful football games today. I mean, Washington and Dallas was a halfway decent entertaining game. And now I'm watching the Lions and the Vikings, which is a game that doesn't mean much, but it's at least a close game. How about yourself?
No, watching some football here, and like you said, these are kind of like some G. Is this like the NBA G League? Is that what this is here? I don't know, man. Just saying. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Brent. I was going to tell you, me and my son, we've had a good Christmas today. I watched the Cavs game earlier, not the whole thing, but parts of it, of course. And that was a tough loss for the Cavs. They were up good, and they just couldn't finish it at the Garden, but it's been a great day. We had a good meal together, opened up presents. It's been a good day. It's a good Christmas, guys.
It's good.
Steve, did you make your son pay the bill today at the restaurant? Is that true?
I did it. When you're the dad, you always got to take care.
Yeah, I did. Okay, all right.
You know
all
what
right.
I mean?
Just making sure. Just making sure. You never know. All right. Oh, man. All right, boys, here we are. We're going to get right into it. The first segment here is the Cleveland Browns and their last contest here. And we will recap the Cleveland Browns game against the Buffalo Bills. Steve, take us away. Give us the recap on that.
Well, boys, the Bills won this one 23-20. I was surprised the Browns even stuck in this game like they did. In my opinion, many thought it'd be a blowout, but the Browns kept in it. And the Browns actually scored first. I wasn't expecting that, too, by the way. Shador threw a 13-yard touchdown pass to Harold Feeney Jr. And then I mentioned in the last cast, I knew James Cook was going to have a big day running the football for the Buffalo Bills. And, boy, did he ever. He had a 44-yard run for a touchdown. And as we all know, it was 7-7 after the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Browns got a tough blow, guys. Running back Quinshad Judkins had a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
He fractured his fibula and dislocated his right ankle. They had to cart him off the field, and he's going to have to undergo surgery. He was recently leading. He was leading all running backs in yards, and he even got a Pro Bowl nod. I don't know if you guys seen that as an alternate, of course, but he was having a good season. I know the last few games his yards per carry were down, guys, but he's had a good draft pick. He's had a good year, and it's just sad to see him be out for the year. Of course, there's only 2 games left. We're thinking he should be ready by next year, guys.
Yeah, I heard he'll be back for the first game next year. That's what I've been hearing. Were you hearing the same thing, Dave?
Yeah, it's I believe a fibula, if I'm not mistaken, was the injury. And you could see it was bad. I saw a still picture of it, and it looked really, really bad. It's unfortunate. He was having a really, really good rookie year. I know the yards per carry, as Steve says, doesn't tell the whole truth. This has not been a good run blocking offensive line at all. Yeah. And it's just tough to see him not be able to complete the season. But, yeah, I'm optimistic, Brent, that he'll come back next year. He's still very young in his career. Hopefully he can rebound and be ready for the start of next season because I see him as a big part of the Browns' offense going forward.
Yeah, guys, and Judkins and Travion Henderson of the Patriots were both the leaders in rushing for rookies. And Henderson's probably going to break Judkins, you would think, with the 2 games left. But there's some games that he doesn't get any carries or very little. So we'll just have to see. But Judkins had a great year. Yeah. So no doubt there. The Browns then did spread the ball rushing. They like running that jet sweep that fools most teams, ran by Malaki Corley.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you notice they went to the well on that play a few times, and it seemed to work like every time they ran it against the Bills. It seemed like his speed really helped on that play.
Yeah, that jet sweep, it's like they fooled the Bills. Like, haven't the Bills been watching tape? I mean, us fans watch it. I think I know who's going to get it when I see him in the backfield there, or running in motion, and taking that handoff. I'm surprised the Bills weren't ready for him. What do you think, Grant? How about that?
Yeah, I agree, Steve. 100%.
Just last point on that, Steve. I will say this is a game that really exposed a weakness the Bills have had the entire season. I mean, this is one of the bottom run defenses.
Yeah,
in the
that's
NFL.
run defense. Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see if they can really run into a team in the playoffs that can run the football and expose them.
Yeah, because if the Bills lose a playoff game, it would probably be because another team could run on them. No doubt about that, Dave.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're going to get bounced because.
Oh, really?
Defense, because of their defense more than just Allen. I don't think it'll be because of Allen. It'll be because of the defense. That's just my take.
Well, they're going to have to be ready because this is the year. Should there be one for them?
Yeah, let's hope. That's all we can do. Yeah, like I said, let's hope the best for Buffalo. They're like the Browns. They come up short. And we gotta hopefully Buffalo can do something in the postseason. Ain't no doubt about that. Continue, Steve.
Yep. And I haven't seen it much, but Travion Williams had a few nice carries and caught some passes. He played more of a Dylan Sampson type role since Sampson was still out with an injury. I thought he didn't look too bad. At first, I had to look him up. I'm like, who is that? He hasn't played a whole lot in games prior, but I thought he didn't do too bad, especially in the catching game. And then Raheem Sanders, he got some carries with Judkins out. I don't remember seeing him much since like that Bengals game way early on in the season.
Well, I mean, I think Dylan Sampson's been hurt, Steve, so I think he's kind of the other running back right now.
Yeah, that Travion Williams, and then bringing back Raheem Sanders too. Yeah, someone's got to carry the load. They both didn't play too bad considering. Shador, he kept the Browns in the game. He finished 20 of 29 for 157 yards, had one touchdown pass. Unfortunately, 2 interceptions, and was sacked 2 times. Sanders actually hurt his finger, and they had to put in Dylan Gabriel, which fans weren't happy about. But Sanders was able to go right back in.
I guess you hear those
they were booing.
Yeah,
I know.
Sorry, Dylan Gabriel. I don't think they want you in Cleveland. That's unfortunate. But if you had played a little better, then then it would have been better. He just, oh man, yeah. I heard they were booing, guys.
Yeah.
Judkins actually led them with 5 catches before getting injured. Travion Williams and Fannin Jr. each had 4 catches, followed by Jerry Jeudy with 3. Sanders didn't have many deep balls, guys, but with the injury to his pinky finger, he was bleeding and everything, which was his throwing hand, by the way. I think it had something to do with that, along with the fact that the Bills kept playing deep zone coverage, guys. They defended Sanders quite well, I thought. Their game plan.
No, I got to step in here and say something on this.
Sure, Brent.
Tommy Reese got in Shador's head throughout the week, said, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And I don't know if I like that.
That's
Dave, don't you think you're gonna let him play his own game, right?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Brett. I'm gonna get into this in my notes. But what I have to say is I think the Reese game plan mirrored too much of the Stefanski game plan.
Bingo.
From early in the year.
Conservative guys.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You can't live in the short throw, the screen game, the throw the ball to the tight end offense forever. We have to see him. And by the way, he's got the arm to do it. We've seen he has the arm to do it. We have to see him throw different, other types of routes to see how good of a quarterback he's going to be moving forward here. It can't just be all the screen game and an occasional pass to Harold Fannin here and there.
Yeah.
That's a frustrating thing right there. What we're talking about with him, how he was doing those short passes. And like Dave said, he was showing the long stuff before that.
Yeah.
Guys, a good coach is going to say the answer is somewhere in the middle. How about a little bit of both?
Yeah. Well, remember what I said.
You got to play games to win it. You can't just barely stay in there, meaning you got to throw downfield.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Dave? Good.
No, well, remember, in college, a lot of it is either really short or really long. The NFL is more intermediate. It's more of a 15-yard out, a dig route. It's stuff like that. Those are the pass patterns you have to be able to throw in the NFL on a consistent basis, a consistently accurate basis to be a successful quarterback. And we need an offensive coordinator. Now, again, he's not getting a whole lot of help from his supporting cast, but we're going to have to see more of that from Shedeur Sanders in his next 2 starts. And it's up to Tommy Rees to, get that more involved as far as the game plan goes.
Yeah.
Exactly, guys.
Yep. Keep going, Steve.
Okay. Harold Fannin scored both touchdowns for the Browns, one with the catch that I mentioned earlier and a 1-yard rush for a touchdown. And he broke the record of catches by Kevin Johnson, who had 67. And Harold Fannin now has 70 catches for the year. And guys, Kevin Johnson was one of my favorites, back in 99. I believe it was him and Tim Couch a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty good back in 99. That record stood for quite some time, guys. So
yes,
that's quite an honor, to be quite honest with you.
To be mentioned in the same breath as Kevin Johnson there, the legend of Kevin Johnson, Steve.
Well, I liked him for back in 99.
Yeah.
Steve, I also like Hot Wheels back in 1989, just so you know. But bottom line is this, like you want to get out your Dennis Northcutt jersey while you're at it as well?
I was just thinking about Dennis Northcutt. Yeah, number 86. I mean, Dennis Northcutt and Kevin Johnson. Those are 2 of my favorite receivers, guys. I still remember the Hail Mary when Couch is playing the Saints and he throws that Hail Mary. And the ball bounces around and it plops right in Kevin Johnson's hands and touchdown. And the Browns got a win, I believe, in that one.
I hate to say it. They looked like an expansion team back then, and they were. I mean,
yeah, they were an expansion team. Who was Chris Palmer? Did that guy ever get hired as a coach again? I don't know. I mean, maybe as some kind of coordinator.
I saw him on an episode of ER maybe a year later as a fill-in.
Maybe he's playing Hot Wheels with his grandchildren or great-grandchildren.
Shout out to Palmer. Wow.
I know, right? Ty Detmer was your backup then, so that was not real promising. We should be moving forward, not talking about the past in that sense, right?
My computer's going to get the Y2K bug, Anyways, continue, Steve.
All right, guys. I will say this: Shedeur did look great running the ball. He was the team's leading rusher for the third straight game, making plays with his legs, including key 3rd down scrambles, guys. His first interception was thrown slightly behind him, Judkins, and it was tipped off his shoulder.
Yeah.
And Bill's safety and former Brown Jordan Poyer got that interception. And then his second interception came when he attempted a check down pass to Harold Fannin, but Bill's edge rusher, Joey Bosa, left and tipped the ball, and defensive tackle Juwan Jones caught it for that second interception. So that was unfortunate, guys. I know he keeps throwing the picks, but I'm not over concerned with Sanders throwing these interceptions. Some actually haven't been his fault. And when they are, he still does go downfield. And he's trying to help the team win, which is a good sign in my mind.
You know what? Can I say something, Steve? You make a good point there. I actually am more concerned about him not throwing the ball away and taking some of these unnecessary sacks and not recognizing pressure quicker than I am about the interceptions, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? Because we'll outgrow the interceptions, Dave.
Oh, absolutely, guys.
And to defend Shedeur, a few of them have not been his fault. Like last week, the interception by Kevin Johnson, the interception on the pass intended. You got me into Kevin Johnson.
You're caught
living in 1999.
Oh,
the interception last week to Jerry Jeudy on the pass that he should have caught in the end zone was definitely not on him. So a few of these have not been on Shador.
Exactly. But, he doesn't give up. He keeps plugging away. There was a real good player. His name was Peyton Manning. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Yeah.
He played all camp and all season for the Colts in his rookie season, and he threw 28 interceptions his rookie year. And look how good he turned out. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying Shador's going to be Peyton, but I'm just saying, don't worry about some of these picks, guys. I mean, it's part of that rookie season.
Dave, though, I don't care about the picks as much. It's more about, do you recognize pressure? Do you get the ball away? Is your mechanic right?
Yes.
Just your overall pocket presence. I am more interested in that.
Absolutely.
Don't forget the last thing. The checkdowns. Check down 1, 2, 3. Does he do all that properly? That's what I want. Yeah.
That's right, Dave. Let's get to the defensive side of things for the Browns. Myles Garrett got a half sack, so he's one short of the record now, guys. This is how I wanted it to be. You heard me in the last cast. I wanted to come against Pittsburgh, and as it should this weekend, the half sack he did have was shared with Alex Wright. What do you guys think? Didn't you want to see Myles Garrett break the record against Pittsburgh? I mean, I was excited about it. I'm excited. What do you guys feel on that?
Well, I'll say this. Bottom line, Steve, I'd like to see him break the record at home. Whether that be against the Steelers, whether that be against the Bills. I think it would be. Let's throw a bone to the Browns fans as they work through what is an awful, awful season. Give that half full Brown stadium something to cheer for. Let's just put it that way.
And I wanted it against Pittsburgh and T.J. Watt because I want to one-up T.J. Watt. And you're right. There's going to be a lot of Steelers fans in those stands, and that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, when he breaks that record, I hope we get a bunch of people cheering for him, as we should.
Now, the other thing that'd be cool about the Steelers game, wouldn't that be better for the record books, too? Because that'd be game number 16 versus game number 17.
I was thinking that too, Brent. I wanted to break it before 17 because some people say, well, whoever it was, Michael Strahan did it in 16, example, or whatever. I don't know about our Browns player. Yeah, I want him in the 16, not the 17th game.
Steve, are you okay with Rudolph getting in there at some point for the Steelers?
Yes. In fact, I wouldn't mind it, but it's still a good record. I mean, if you do it against Rudolph, that'd be awesome. But even if it's Aaron Rodgers, I mean, you say you broke the record on a Hall of Fame quarterback. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good no matter what. But anyhow, guys, Carson Schlesinger led in tackles for the Browns. God, he's having an amazing year this season as a rookie, And Devin Bush, also, he had 9 tackles. Tyson Campbell, he played a solid game in the secondary for the Browns. The Browns actually stopped the passing game of Josh Allen. Allen was 12 of 19 for 130 yards, no touchdowns, but he also threw no interceptions. He wasn't able to run on us either, guys. Usually he gets those games where he runs it in for a touchdown or he sees the field and he can run a long one. The Browns did good against him, but the guy that we couldn't stop was running back James Cook. Guys, he had 117 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
How bad is the interior of this defensive line right now? They're just getting pushed around. I mean, I don't think it's all Malik Collins. Nobody on this interior is stepping up and making plays. I've not heard Mason Graham's name called a lot in these last few games, Steve. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, I guess, when I did some research, it said Mason Graham's rating or whatever actually wasn't that bad. And I was like, huh? I agree with you, Dave. When I read that, I go, I got to look at this. I got to blink my eyes for a minute. Am I reading this right? They said it wasn't that bad. I'm not seeing the same thing that they are, whoever's keeping track of this, because I agree with you too. I mean, we're not stopping the run like we did at the beginning of the year, regardless, like you said, with Malik Collins out. James Cook, though, he seemed to be like their entire offense on this day for the Bills, guys.
Yeah.
Defensively for the Bills, Greg Rose had 2.5 sacks, including game-sealing plays in the fourth quarter that forced intentional grounding and ended up a potential Browns comeback there, guys. And then Jordan Poyer had the interception, the pass breakup. He had a half a sack, and he also had 11 tackles on the day. And then that Juwan Jones got the interception that it ended up being a field goal for the Bills. I think, guys, we got to see Shedeur start 2 more times, so that's good to get a better idea about what we have there. I personally think that he can be the guy in 2026. I want him to have a full camp, a full preseason, and start the regular season games. I just can't see it writing him off this soon, guys. I know some people are saying draft a quarterback, or if you get picked 2, you better draft one.
Yeah,
I don't write him off yet, guys.
Yeah, I think it's cut. See, I have a different opinion. I think it's cut and dry. If he wins 1 out of the next 2 games, Shedeur Sanders will be the starter next year. That's just kind of what I feel.
Well,
if he loses out, he's gone. He'll be traded. Go ahead.
I just want to say, Brent, I think he could end up being the starter by default in many ways. I think you look at the quarterback situation with the Cleveland Browns. You have Dylan Gabriel, who, got his chance and it basically proved that at best he's a backup quarterback in this league. And, because of his limitations with his size and with his arm, he is not the future for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, correct.
At best, he's probably a backup. And now you still have Deshaun Watson, and all that money that's left on that contract. And you've got Shedeur Sanders. So now I'm not crazy about this draft. I'm not the biggest Mendoza fan in the world.
Yeah.
Back out of Indiana. So I think by default, I think Shedeur Sanders could be the starting quarterback next year, if for anything, because of a lack of options.
I kind of feel that if they lose out, I think they're going to draft one. I kind of feel that's going to happen.
It could. Well, the other thing, Brett, you have to keep in mind is what does the new regime think? If they do a complete clean house, we don't know. We can't get inside their minds and say what they think here, So
yeah, that's a good call. All right, we will get to Mr. Dave Greenfield. Dave, give us your analysis here on this Browns and Bills matchup here this past Sunday.
Well, you know what, Brett? It wasn't pretty. I mean, the Browns hung in the game. They did put up, a good fight in this one, but they fell to the Buffalo Bills 23-20, dropping their 12th game of the season. This was a game that the Browns had a real chance to take in the fourth quarter. They had 2 possessions with a chance to either tie or take the lead in the fourth quarter, but were unable to do so. This was another interesting start for rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He threw for 147 yards and a touchdown, was intercepted twice in the game. I think there was some good and there was some bad. I'm going to get into that in a minute. He led the Browns in rushing yards with 4 attempts for 49 yards. The Browns defense held the Bills to 3 points in the second half as their offense tried to climb back into the game after being down 20-10 at the half. The defense was able to get key stops that gave the Browns a chance in the fourth quarter. The Browns offense did get off to a great start. As Steve mentioned, the Browns took the ball 69 yards on 8 plays on the opening drive for a touchdown. Judkins was featured early, catching a pass for 6 yards on the first play from scrimmage and gaining 8 yards across his first 2 carries of the game. Sanders connected with Fannin, who kept his feet moving for a first down on an 11-yard gain. The reception was Fannin's 67th of the season, which gave him sole possession of the Browns rookie record, as Steve mentioned, tying the illustrious Kevin Johnson, pride of Syracuse University. Right, Steve?
That's right, buddy.
Well,
I love Kevin Johnson. You got to like Syracuse football, too. Jim Brown went to Syracuse, too, by the way. So that's Syracuse Cleveland Browns players, right?
Well, go ahead.
Dave, I'm sorry. Can you give me back my lava lamp that I let you borrow the other day?
Hey, Brent, you are not immune to late 90s references. You're here for it. I know you
Hey, Brent, did you have a waterbed back then, too?
Hey, Brent, remember to hit me up on my pager later. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, my God. By the way.
Beep, beep, 911. 911.
The lava lamp, got the pager, and I like what Steve said. The water bed. Wow, that's been a while for that one. A water bed. Oh, man. All right, continue.
All right, 4 plays later, Sanders rolled out to the right and found Fannin for a 13-yard touchdown that gave the Browns a 7-0 lead. The Bills responded. They used the ground game, running 4 of 5 plays during their scoring drive. Allen showcased his scrambling ability on the first play, getting 7 yards. Cooks rushed for 23 yards on the next 2 plays, and on the 5th play of the drive, he broke through a hole for a 44-yard touchdown to tie the game with 7:47 left in the opening quarter. The Browns seemed to keep the momentum on the next drive, moving the ball to the Cleveland 31-yard line. The drive ended with, the first of 2 Shedeur interceptions, as intended for Judkins, bounced off him and into the hands of Jordan Poyer. Steve, I think you're right. I think that interception wasn't on Shedeur. I mean, it was a little bit behind Judkins, but I thought he could have made the catch. What was your opinion on that one?
I agree with you, Dave. They're saying that it was thrown just a little bit behind him, but I mean, he's a pretty good player. I think he could have came up with it. An interception like that's one where you say Shedeur, I don't put it all on Shedeur on that.
Yeah, I tend to agree. This set the Bills up at their own 39-yard line. They would take the ball 61 yards in 9 plays. This resulted in a 2-yard Ty Johnson touchdown run that gave the Bills a 13-7 lead. The Browns would move the ball again, taking it down the field to respond. They got the ball to the Bills' 4-yard line and gained 66 yards across 9 plays, but the drive stalled there. And Andre Smith would kick a 24-yard field goal to cut the Bills' lead to 13-10 with 5:38 left in the second quarter. Buffalo moved quickly down the field on its next possession, using Allen and James Cook to move the ball down the field. Allen completed 2 of 3 pass attempts for 39 yards, while Cook ran the ball 4 times for 29 yards. Cook scored his second rushing touchdown of the game with a 3-yard run, bringing the Bills' lead to 20-10 with 2:23 left in the half. A botched snap on a 48-yard field goal attempt. Punter Corey Bjorkes couldn't handle a clean hold on the ball. He had to throw the ball out of bounds to end the half, and that's the way it ended the half, with the Bills taking a 20-10 lead into the locker room. The Browns' opening possession of the second half did not end well. Sanders tried to roll out to his right and tried to fit a pass through a gap to Corley, and then defensive end Joey Bosa tipped the pass, and defensive tackle Daquan Jones came down with the ball, resulting in Sanders' second interception. Steve, I think I put the second pick more on Shedeur than the first pick, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely the second one. You don't want to see a ball batted down or tipped like that. That was more of Shedeur's fault on that one. But at least he's slinging, he's throwing. I mean, he's not going to give up, which is key. But that second one, Dave, was definitely Shedeur's fault there.
Yeah, I agree. The Browns defense was able to hold the Bills to a 41-yard field goal that pushed the lead out to 23-10 with 9:37 left in the third quarter. The Browns showed some grit. They would go 67 yards in 14 plays. They moved the ball on the ground. They gained 33 yards on 5 carries, including Raheem Sanders picking up 21 yards on 4 carries. The drive would end with a 1-yard Harold Fannin touchdown run. He broke the goal line to get the Browns to a 23-17 score with 1:36 left in the third. The Browns defense forced a turnover on downs, giving their offense a chance to take the lead if they were to score a touchdown. The drive would end with on the Bills' 23-yard line, and Smith would make a 41-yard field goal, pulling the Browns to within 3 points with 8:46 left in the game. The Browns and Shedeur would get one more chance after Josh Allen's pass to tight end Dawson Knox. It was right off his hands on a 4th down in the end zone, and that was a pure drop. To be fair, Josh Allen was robbed out of a touchdown. I don't know if you noticed that drop, Steve. It looked like that he should have came up with that catch.
Yeah, Knox should have definitely caught that one. That's for sure.
This gave the Browns a chance to tie or win the game with 23-20 with 2:47 left on the clock. Sanders found wide receiver Malachi Corley on first down for 11 yards, moving it to the Cleveland 23-yard line. Sanders was sacked on the next play, losing 8 yards. Facing 2nd and 18, Sanders scrambled around trying to make a play, but threw the ball away while in the pocket and was called for intentional grounding. The play set up 3rd and 32 from the Browns' 1-yard line, with the Browns needing to gain a first down. Sanders tried to find Jerry Jeudy, but the pass was incomplete, and the Browns punted the ball away. The Bills were able to get a first down, take a knee, and run the clock out. this would end it with the Bills coming out with a 23-20 victory. The Bills were able to get a first down and put things away. The Browns, both teams, by the way, had big games on the ground, by the way. The Browns went for 160 yards on the ground, and the Bills went for 164. As Steve mentioned, this was not Josh Allen's best day. He threw the ball only 19 times. He completed 12 passes for only 130 yards in this one. He missed a couple of throws, including a key third down. He had a crossing route open, and he just was wide, and he totally missed a wide open receiver that would have been a key first down. The Browns were able to stop the Bills on downs there. He threw incomplete on fourth down. It would have helped if Dawson Knox would not have dropped that sure touchdown. And that actually would have put the game away. On to Shedeur. We saw some good, and I felt we saw some bad. The game plan had him utilize that short passing, only 5.4 yards per completion. The interceptions still are an issue. It appears Judkins should have caught the pass intended for him, as Steve and I just mentioned. The ball was a little bit behind him. He's still having an issue recognizing pressure. We still see him break from the pocket. We saw him do that, on those pressure situations late in the fourth quarter. He needs to process quicker. He needs to get the ball out quicker. Overall, guys, I give him a C+ for this game. I think we could have seen a little bit more from Tommy Rees in the offensive game plan as well. It could have been a little more aggressive. Guys, what are your thoughts on Shedeur's grade for this one?
I think you got it right, but I would say this. This year with Shedeur, it's almost like, to me, it doesn't even count. It's an incomplete. Okay. I don't think that the coaching has helped him. I feel like they're getting in his ear. It's like any new rookie or any new job. When you guys were young in your careers, you always had that boss that was in your ear. Steve, I know you've probably had to deal with that. And as a young person coming up in this world, sometimes it's just best to do it your damn self. You figure things out on your own. You know what's good for you. Yeah, you can take some advice here and there. I think they're in his ear too much. It's kind of hard to gauge Shedeur's game in totality. In one hand, he holds on to it too long, but I just don't know if they're helping him out in his growth. And I give him an incomplete. So, Steve, what do you think?
I give Shedeur a B, but I will say this, that the play calling and the coaching isn't helping his matter. You're supposed to build your game plan around your players' strengths. You should run all that behind Shedeur's strengths. You can't just have this conservative style, because that doesn't fit Shedeur or Shedeur's personality. You got to build around Shedeur's strengths if you want him to be our quarterback and you want us to win, or any quarterback for that matter, for the Cleveland Browns.
They basically gave the Dylan Gabriel playbook to Shedeur.
Exactly.
Yes, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It's Brett, it's going to be real interesting to see if this game plan looks any different these last two games. The Browns sustained a horrible loss in this one. As Steve mentioned, star rookie running back Quinshon Judkins was carted off, suffering a dislocated right ankle and broken fibula in the second quarter. This will, of course, mean the end of a season. He was a real bright spot this season. It's very unfortunate he won't be able to finish out the season the way he wanted to. Defensive end Myles Garrett recorded a half a sack to bring his season total to 22. He needs one more sack in his final two games to pass Strahan, TJ Watt for the single season mark. Steve mentioned Carson Schlesinger. Steve, he's got to be the leading candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. With 12 total tackles, this is his sixth consecutive double-digit tackle game. He's been incredible this year.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if he doesn't get Defensive Player of the Year. Shocked, because he's had a great season, guys. I mean, what a pick. I will say that.
Yeah, overall, the defense continues to get gashed on the ground. They've not been gap sound, and they're really just getting pushed around. To me, it appears the defense may be making some off-season plans here, guys. It looks like they've checked out a little bit. I don't know if you guys have some thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah. They've been checked out. They're planning. Everyone's got their vacation schedule. They're looking at it. They're on social media. They're playing Zelda. They're playing Tetris. I mean, I don't know. They're not. They're not.
Brett, did you just make a Zelda reference? I'm sorry.
Nintendo? Jeez.
My God. I mean, I don't know.
1999 had PlayStation 2. Come on, Brent. Earliest PlayStation 1.
Oh, man. I know. Raptor was playing Sonic. He was playing Sonic. I don't know. Anyway, listen, they're done. They're checked out. Of course, they're looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me just give my conclusion here. The Browns showed some positive things in this one. It was good to see them establish the ground game, especially after the loss of Judkins. I was encouraged by what we saw from Shador for the most part, even with the 2 picks. He still needs to recognize pressure and get the ball out quicker. I still want to see a larger sample size of different throws. This screen game and short throws to Fannin just isn't enough. We need to see, more of the intermediate throws. I know the wide receivers suck. I've been hearing that the entire year. It still needs to be a bigger part of this game plan. These are the throws that quality NFL starters must complete consistently, and we need to see him do it. It is not good to see the defense check out. I can't say I'm surprised. Overall, the Browns at least put themselves in position to win this one. We should not be happy with moral victories, even though we are Browns fans. Brent, we sure can't count on real victories. I think all we've got is moral victories.
Yeah. Well said, Dave. We're going to get to the game of the week, and we'll go to Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, I'm looking at the wait a second. Does my calendar say it's November 25th? This is another loss for Steve Retzer. Because if you remember, all Retzer did was lose in November, didn't he, Dave? He lost.
Well, and Brett, I'm not one to talk right now.
I know. I'm going to you for support here, and you're in the same camp, So, but anyway, okay. Steve, I hope you get back on your winning ways. But go ahead and tell us about this. Tell us about your disappointing loss this past week. All right, Steve, go ahead.
Well, boys, I had Tampa Bay at Carolina. I got a loss on this one as Carolina won 23-20. Man, my Buccaneers are in some real trouble, boys. The only way they can make the playoffs is if they win the NFC South division.
Yeah.
Tampa has all their weapons back, too, on offense. I mean, they just got to start winning, guys. I mean, I'm admitting they're in some trouble, man. I wanted to take them. I know they were on the road and everything, but they just couldn't get it done. With the win, Carolina moves to 8-7 with sole possession of first place, while Tampa Bay is 7-8, slide to second after their 3rd consecutive loss. That's 3 in a row, guys.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's a you know what though? I want to give some credit though to this Carolina team. They're much improved on the defensive side of the ball. They found a solid running game this year. In T. McMillan, they found a good number 1 wide receiver for Bryce Young. I know Bryce Young has been inconsistent this year, but, later in the year, maybe he's turning the corner. I think this is an improved Panthers team as well, Steve. You got to give them a little bit of credit here.
For sure. They've definitely improved. And they were improving last season, if you remember. They were winning a lot of games towards the end of that schedule last season. And they played Tampa in close games last year. Tampa usually won them, but no, they're getting better. So I'm going to give Carolina credit there and Dave Canales. They're doing a good job there. With the score tied 20-20 late in the 4th quarter, Bryce Young led a 43-yard drive, highlighted by a clutch 34-yard completion to rookie Jalen Coker. This set up rookie kicker Ryan Fitzgerald, who nailed a 48-yard field goal with 2:20 remaining. Trailing by 3, Baker Mayfield moved the Bucs into Carolina territory, sparked by a 26-yard scramble. However, with 42 seconds left, a miscommunication between Mayfield and Mike Evans led to a game-sealing interception by rookie safety Lathan Ransom. I mean, that's something. Usually Mayfield and Evans should be on the same page. I know Evans has been out with injury, but those guys, they should be clicking regardless.
You know what? We see good Baker. We see bad Baker. You know what, Brent? How many times have we talked about this guy being streaky? When Baker is on, he can be as good as any quarterback, maybe in this league. When he's feeling and he's got his confidence and he's standing in the pocket, going through his reads, going through his progressions. But sometimes he doesn't see an underneath defender or he forces a throw. And then it leads to an interception. You know what? You can see a lot of, he's got that gunslinger in him, Brent. So those guys can be real streaky.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I think Steve might be onto something. I hope Steve's right. He thinks the injury could play a part in that fact that he's not producing like he once was. Let's hope that's the case, right?
Yeah, guys, remember when his shoulder, Dave? Remember when his shoulder was in a sling? I think against the Eagles. I'm just going to tell you this. I hate to make an excuse, but it's partial. It's partial at any rate. He doesn't want to give up. He wants to stay in the game.
Steve,
he's playing injured with that shoulder.
Have we seen that movie before? An injured Baker Mayfield not playing good football, starting to throw interceptions,
and the coach not taking him out. I think we've seen this before. Brent, remember in the Pittsburgh game?
Yeah, and it's
out. Please take him out. Get him out.
Dave is
take him out. And Pittsburgh crushed us. Dave, do you remember that? Pittsburgh crushed Baker Mayfield.
They did.
Yansky wasn't taking him out.
How similar is this injury to what the Brown? Is it the shoulder, right?
It's his shoulder, Brent. That is right.
It's the non-throwing shoulder.
It's the non-throwing shoulder, but believe it or not, it can still be damaged to you.
Yeah, they said that. You know what I heard about that? And Dave, you can chime in here too. I heard it throws off your mechanics when you're non-throwing shoulders. Now, am I right? Good.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see it. When Baker, Baker is mechanics is a big part of when Baker is successful, and when he's back there and he's confident and he's accurate with the football. Now, I will say this: mechanics aside, injury aside, Baker's always been a risk taker to a certain extent with the football. He's a little bit like a poor man's Brett Favre that way, Brent, to where he will try to put a ball into a tight window that maybe sometimes he shouldn't.
And when he's off a little bit with his injury, then this is the gunslinging thing isn't going to be in his favor.
That's
kind
true.
of okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a fact for sure. Besides the injury, is he's missing out on Liam Cohen, who was his offensive coordinator. Baker put up some of the best numbers last season, and Tampa Bay was tough.
That's true.
Look what Cohen's doing in Jacksonville. He's taking your fraud, Brent. Trent Lawrence.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's
off Fraud Island.
He's off the island.
Off Fraud Island. Trevor Lawrence is in business, and Cohen's the guy developing him. I know Baker was already a veteran and developed, but this Cohen must do something right, man, because Baker's definitely off too there.
Yeah.
Let's get into Bryce Young a little bit in his growth. Young continued his trend of late game heroics, recording his 12th career game-winning drive. He finished 21 of 32 for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 6-yarder to Javian Sanders, where he escaped 3 defenders, guys.
Well, you know what? Can I just say this real quick comment on Bryce Young? He was showing some inconsistency early in the year and had some games where he just looked flat out awful. You kind of saw this last year. He came on towards the second half of the season. Remember, he was benched last year. He came back later in the year and was playing his best football towards the end of the season. You're seeing it again this year, but this year he's doing it on a better football team, in my view.
Exactly. The Panthers on defense, once again, they showed they could bounce back from a tough loss. Their defense, leaky on third downs, allowing Tampa to convert 8 of 14, made the play that mattered the most when Ransom snatched the final interception. Tampa Bay struggles. Despite a solid ground game with 169 yards, the Bucs' pass attack was uncharacteristically stagnant. Penalties were a major theme for Tampa, with 8 penalties for 65 yards, many of which were false starts that killed momentum. That's been a problem, too, for Tampa, guys. Penalties, I mean, they are just not – I don't know. It looks like a different team than last season, guys.
Yeah.
And don't be shocked if Todd Bowles is the next guy out.
Wow.
At coach for Tampa. I like him. He's a good guy, but, I mean, you just can't be making these mistakes, and this is usually their hot time of the year. I mean, they've been losing, guys.
I think it's a down year. I think it's too early to evaluate.
Yeah.
I think it's just a down year, just like the Commanders had a down year. Now, I don't think there's anything to see here. Oh, he'll be back. Yeah.
Okay. Lost in the drama was Panthers running back Rico Dowdle, becoming just the 6th undrafted player since 2000 to record back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Yeah.
He's had a good year for Carolina. So that helps Bryce Young too there, Dave,
Exactly. They've given him the support. We thought it was going to be Chuba Hubbard. It's been a little bit of Chuba Hubbard along with Dowdle in the backfield. Again, they found a number one receiver in McMillan. So he's got some support by having a go-to guy at receiver and having a good 1-2 punch in that backfield, Steve, no doubt.
Exactly. Well, boys, the division is still up for grabs. Carolina can clinch the NFC South next week with a win over Seattle and a Tampa Bay loss to Miami. If both teams win, the division title will likely come down to their Week 18 rematch.
Okay.
I'm hoping that Carolina loses to Seattle, which seems realistic because how good Seattle is this year.
Sure.
Then I need Tampa to win at home against Carolina in the season finale. I do think Tampa should be able to beat Miami, but you just never know on how it's going right now. But at any rate, come on, Tampa. Let's go, Bucks. It'd be cool to beat Carolina in Week 18 and just take that division and send Carolina home and get Tampa in the playoffs.
Yep. That's Retzler's side chick. Understand? Well said, Steve. And we will get to Mr. Dave Greenshield. And Dave, yeah, you've had some better weeks, haven't you, buddy?
Well, Brent, so much for starting another winning streak. I unfortunately took another L, and so much for my preseason Super Bowl pick, the Baltimore Ravens. The Patriots dealt a devastating blow to the Ravens' playoff hopes. New England rallied from an 11-point deficit to take a 28-24 victory over Baltimore on Sunday Night Football. I would say the Pats all but ended them. This was supposed to be the breakthrough season for the Ravens. Drake May guided the Pats to a pair of fourth-quarter touchdowns. The New England Patriots are back in the playoffs. Shout out to Steve, who did call it before the season. Shout out, Steve. Take your flowers. Take a bow.
Thank you very much. I said 11 wins, and
you did.
They're getting a lot more than that.
Brent, I really don't want to give Steve credit. Do we have to do this? I'm sorry.
Because that'll be its own show. If we do that, can be its own show.
Well, they did one thing right more than anything, besides the great play of Drake May. They hired a great coach, man. Building the next dynasty. Mike Vrabel.
There we go.
If you didn't have Vrabel, this team wouldn't be where it would be.
Pretty soon we're going to
And then Josh McDaniels, best offensive coordinator in the whole NFL.
Here we go.
Hey, this is sickening, Dave. I mean, come on.
Jeez, I thought I was here for a football podcast. Oh, geez, who knew?
I love it. It's a bromance. It's a bromance. I mean, come on.
No. 7 years after Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won their final Super Bowl together in New England, and 4 years after Belichick reached the playoff with Mac Jones at quarterback, the Patriots returned to the postseason in May's second year behind center. Early on in this one, the Ravens looked good. They opened with a rather smooth 64-yard touchdown drive that culminated with a Derrick Henry rushing score, his first of 2 touchdowns on the ground. Pardon me. After that, Marlon Humphrey picked off May during New England's opening possession on the night after marching into the red zone. It really looked like the Ravens might run away with this one. The first momentum shifts in this game occurred when Henry fumbling during the Baltimore's second possession, which sparked a 10-0 run by the Patriots. The Ravens were able to tie things up at 10 apiece on a 36-yard field goal by Tyler Loop with 1:03 left in the second quarter. This drive was costly for the Ravens. In the closing minutes of the second quarter, quarterback Lamar Jackson departed with a back injury. The two-time MVP would not return to the game, which led to Tyler Huntley slotting in under center the rest of the way. The score was tied at 10 apiece heading into the half. The Pats would take a 13-10 lead on a Gallus 41-yard field goal with 7:43 left in the third quarter. After that, momentum shifted back to the Ravens. Huntley led the Ravens charge. Zay Flowers scored an 18-yard end around to give the Ravens a 17-13 lead in the third quarter. Baltimore then snuffed out a fake punt near midfield, went ahead by 11 on Henry's 2-yard touchdown run with 12:50 left in the fourth quarter, and the Ravens were looking good. But that was the last time Henry touched the ball. Another baffling set of decisions and another fourth quarter collapse by Baltimore's team that's had plenty of them in recent years. This is when the Pats and May started to cook. He connected on a 37-yard scoring drive to Kyle Williams and a 2-point conversion pass to Ramondre Stevenson to make it a 3-point game with 9:01 left to play. After New England forced a punt, the Patriots drove 89 yards for the winning touchdown. The drive culminated with Ramondre Stevenson weaving his way for a 21-yard touchdown run and a New England 28-24 lead. The last chance for the Ravens ended when wide receiver Zay Flowers fumbled the ball at the Baltimore 36-yard line. That was recovered by linebacker Kayvon Chason with 1:57 left in the fourth. That is where New England would run out the clock and secure the 28-24 victory. This was a tough loss for the Ravens, especially in a season where they had Super Bowl expectations. The issues have followed them throughout the entire season. You saw Derrick Henry fumbling the ball, a Lamar Jackson injury, and a defense that could not get a key stop. It's been a rough year for Lamar, a season with injuries and erratic play. He never looked like the MVP Lamar from previous seasons. It probably didn't help the Ravens got away from Henry in the running game in this one, especially late in the fourth quarter when they needed him the most. As far as the playoff-bound Pats, this team showed that it has something. It starts with the quarterback, and it normally does. Drake May is going to be one of the best. I don't care what you say, Brett, he's not a fraud. He went 31 of 40.
Hey, he's off the island. He's off. I
He
just
should-
saw him at the
He should have never been on the island.
He never should have been on the island.
He was on the island because he came from.
He had a
North
good year
Carolina.
last
What a
year,
fraud.
too. He did last year, too.
What a fraud! He was at North Carolina. He stunk.
All
Anyway,
right.
continue. All right.
By the way, the fraud went 31 of 44 for 380 yards and 2 touchdown passes, by the way.
I said he's off the island.
All right, there we go. He was clutch. He made the big throws when his team absolutely needed it. His supporting cast helped him out. Stephon Diggs, 9 catches for 138 yards receiving. He's stepping up and showing he can still be a legitimate number 1 receiver. The defense is very underrated. They get key stops when needed. In this 3-4 scheme, they always seem to find linebackers that can contribute. Third-year linebacker Jack Gibbons led the team with 10 tackles. You know, whether it's Kayvon Chason or Landry, the other linebacker, they just always seem to find guys that fit in this 3-4 scheme. It kind of reminds me of the Belichick years, unfortunately. Of course, credit has to go to Retzer family friend Mike Vrabel. His roster is much further along than I thought. He's also been solid. He's also put together a solid coaching staff. Again, Steve mentioned it. Credit to OC Josh McDaniels and what he's done with May in this offense. I just want to summarize in conclusion. This will be an interesting offseason for the Ravens. This is a team that had a good run with Lamar. I can't believe he's in his 8th season. And by the way, only one AFC championship game appearance to show for it. It'll be interesting to see if he bounces back from a season with injuries and poor play. It'll also be interesting to see what roster changes and possible coaching changes happen in the offseason. Question, guys, is John Harbaugh back next year?
He is.
I heard a rumor.
Good, Steve.
Okay, I heard a rumor that they were talking about getting rid of him. I don't think you can because of the injuries, because of, you know, I mean, I think you got to bring him back. And like you said, you should have ran Derrick Henry certain games, certain times. They got to learn from it. You just got to learn from it. You got to give him a chance.
Brent?
Yeah, I kind of feel that it's more Harbaugh that's the issue than Lamar. But you know what?
Okay.
Continuity tells me they're not. You know who Harbaugh is? He's the next version of Marvin Lewis. He ain't going anywhere.
Okay.
So,
Except he's got a Super Bowl ring to show for it, to be fair to John Harbaugh. So,
yeah, it's true. That's true.
Okay.
I don't think he's going anywhere. Because he's they're just continuity means a lot in the NFL. I think you guys know that by now. So, you know.
Okay. On to the Pats. This is a team I felt coming into the season was a year away from contending. I loved May coming into the year. Me and Steve were simpatico on that. Just felt they needed a good offseason to put more parts around them. Well, not so much. They found a solid group of receivers, including a number 1 in Diggs. The O-line is good enough. They have a good rookie dual threat running back in Travion Henderson. The AFC is wide open this season. Why not the Pats? Please don't tell me I'm looking at another run of New England success, Brent. I can't stand it. Mostly, I don't want to admit Steve Retzer was right.
Well, here's another way to look at it,
Welcome
Dave.
to the new dynasty, baby.
Not only was Steve Retzer right,
And Mike and Vrabel.
you're going to keep having KC New England dynasties year after year after year. I don't want to see any of that. No. Go away, Patriots and KC. Go away. So, we're done. We're having enough. We got to move on to some other teams. All right, guys, we're on to the. Actually, you know what? Let me give me my game of the week. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? I got another win, by the way. So,
here we go.
anyways,
You can't forget that.
Boy,
yeah,
you had to sweat this one out, though, Brent. I think at the end.
It's at the bar, a little nervous, but that's okay. We got it done there. In the prediction of this one, I had the Steelers and the Lions. I had the Steelers winning this game, prediction-wise, 28-24. Well, can't always be perfect. The final score was 29-24. I was off by a point. Dave, what do you think about that? That's not too bad. Huh?
You know what, Brett? You sweated it out at the end. I really thought the Lions were going to pull it out. I thought one of those offensive pass interferences was a bad call, by the way. Just got to say.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
And I will say, Aaron Rodgers playing some good football, Brent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. In a game that felt more like a heavyweight fight than a Week 16 matchup, the Steelers escaped Ford Field with a 29-24 win. That'll be talked about for seasons to come. Jaylen Warren stole the show with a two massive 45-yard touchdown burst, and Kenneth Gainwell added his own improbable pop-up score. After review, a real story was a defensive unit that completely erased the Lions' ground game, holding them to a staggering 15 total rushing yards.
Yep.
It all culminated in a heart-stopping, controversial finish where a last-second Detroit touchdown lateral from St. Brown to Jared Goff was wiped off the board by an offensive pass interference penalty. Whether you think the refs robbed the Lions or the Steelers simply found a way to win ugly, Pittsburgh's third straight victory has them surging toward an AFC North title while leaving Detroit's playoff hopes on life support. So there you go. Any thoughts on that game, guys? Good.
Yeah, Brent. So much for everyone wanting Mike Tomlin gone.
Right.
He's only going to win another division, go to the playoffs again. I think that talks out the door.
Well,
I'm going to stay. Pittsburgh's good, guys. I hate to tell you, I don't like Pittsburgh, but I got to respect them.
I don't think this is a very good football team still. But they found a little bit of a running game. I think they exploited a bad Detroit run defense, number one. And you know what? Credit Aaron Rodgers for turning it around the last few weeks after that pathetic performance against the Bills at home a few weeks back. So he's kind of turned it around. He's playing solid football. They gave him a running game this week. Maybe they get Watt back and the defense gets a little bit better too. So we'll have to see. But I'm not buying this team's hopes, this team's chances come playoff time, Steve. Let's not kid ourselves.
No. Steve Retzer, the last so many years, he always tells me, don't count the Steelers out. They always finish well. Remember that, Steve?
Yeah. I told you that the last few years. Many people didn't believe me, and they have, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, and and that's what good coaching does. You can make the best out of, an average team. And the Steelers aren't that great, but they got a good coach. And you know what? Rodgers he can still pull it off, can't he, Dave?
Yeah, he can still sling it. You know what? He's going to be without his number one receiver the next 2 weeks, DK Metcalf, getting the suspension after that altercation with the fan. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects this offense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, guys, we will get into our last segment here, and that's the bold prediction. Dave, how'd the bold P go this week?
Do we have to? Well, I guess. I picked Quinn Ewers to go over 250 yards passing and throw 2 touchdown passes. Brent, I at least got the first half right. He did throw for 260 yards. The 2 TD passes, not so much. He went 20 for 30. He did have 2 picks, by the way. It's interesting that the Dolphins did score 21 points in this one with 3 TDs coming on the ground, of course. I mean, they were inside the 10-yard line twice. Couldn't he just flip a pass to a running back or a tight end for a score? I mean, come on. Ewers, a 7th-round pick out of Texas, has hardly taken any first-team practice reps, by the way, instead of running a scout team for most of the season. He got off to a strong start, by the way. He went 10 for 12 in the first half. The third quarter was his undoing. He threw 2 interceptions in the third quarter. This led to Bengals touchdowns as they pulled away for a 45-21 victory. It's going to be interesting to see his next couple starts, if it gets any better for Ewers and the Dolphins. Brent, these bold Ps, not so good.
Yeah, it's been rough, and they're hard, guys. Just so our audience knows, bold predictions are very hard to win.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky to win maybe 3 or 4 the whole season. Even that's a tall order. So yeah, just the fact that they go for it. I think Steve Retzer got his bold P right last week.
Yep.
Didn't he I think he said this guy would be breathing for the game and he won. So congratulations.
Oh, that's bold. That's bold.
It was funny, Steve. I mean, it was kind of like that, wasn't it, Dave? It was kind of a cupcake. Yeah, like I forget what it was. Somebody beating Kansas City, and Kansas City, they got nothing left in the tank. So, anyways, all right, Steve, that's enough. All right, I'll get to you. Give it your bold prediction. How'd it go?
All right, guys, I had the Chiefs at the Titans. My bold prediction was that the 2-12 Titans would beat the Chiefs at home behind Cam Ward. Oh, guys, the final score was 26-9. Tennessee got the win. Cam Ward had a good game throwing 2 touchdown passes. And my guy, Tony Pollard, rushed for over 100 yards again, guys. Pollard's starting to come along.
Yeah, good bad.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew was injured in the second quarter for the Chiefs, backing up, Patrick Mahomes with the injury. They had to put in third string Chris Oladedokan, if I said his name right anyway. And the Chiefs, I think he threw a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, but besides that, just couldn't do much.
By the way, the Chiefs have packed it in. The season's over with. Mahomes is done for the season. It's time to look for next year. I'm not surprised they lost this game. It's going to be interesting to see. This will be an interesting offseason for the Chiefs.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Chiefs, they're having a rough season.
Yeah.
And now the Titans, they go to 5-2 against Andy Reid. So go Titans.
All right. Well said, Steve. All right, guys, we'll get some final thoughts and we will wrap it up there. All right. Return to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, just wrapping up what's been a very rough Cleveland Browns season. I guess we can look forward to maybe hopefully Miles breaking the sack record this week against the Steelers, and hopefully a little bit better performance from Shedeur Sanders. Wouldn't you say, Steve?
Absolutely. I think Shedeur will have a better game in this one.
Okay.
It's Pittsburgh. I mean, you got to want to beat Pittsburgh. If you get drafted by the Browns, you play for the Browns. You want to do it like Jameis Winston did. He said, I got to beat Pittsburgh if I'm going to play for the Browns. Hopefully Shedeur has that in his head as well. I want Garrett to break the sack record and Shedeur to do good and maybe get a win. No. I'd be okay if this was our last one of the year.
No. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, I kind of hope the same thing here for as far as I hope that the sack record goes to Garrett this game. I'd rather not wait till week 17 because week 17, that's obviously a little bit beyond the 16-game record book. So we don't want that. So, yeah, I hope that and I hope Shedeur, I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of feel if they lose the next 2 games, then the draft pick thing comes in play a little bit more. I think if Shedeur wins one out of the next 2, I feel like Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback. I don't think they're going to want to package up picks or anything like that. I feel like they're either going to get that guy in the number 1 or 2 spot, but I don't think they're going to package stuff up. That's just kind of what I feel. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I tend to agree, Brent. You know what? I think that, it's going to be interesting to see with the new regime, if there is a new coach and a new general manager, what they want to do going forward, whether they want to commit to another quarterback. You know what? I'm all right if they don't, because I'm not, real confident about this quarterback draft. I wouldn't be opposed to trading the pick, maybe getting more picks. I'm all about amassing more draft capital just because there's a lot of holes to fill on this football, especially offensively. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. And another thing, guys, and we'll get into this in the future episodes, and that is the Andrew Berry thing. If you haven't heard, Ian Rappaport is slinging rumors left and right, and I guess it's not from just him. There's other people that Andrew Berry will be back next year.
Yeah.
And Stefanski is the one that probably would be getting the boot. But Berry has got the how do I say? He's got the hall pass. What do you? That's kind of.
I'm not crazy about that, Brent. I think me and Steve are on the same page. We're both for a complete clean house. Isn't that correct, Steve?
Yeah, Dave. That's what I want. I mean, if one had to go before the other, I'd like Stefanski gone. But I'm
Yeah.
with you, Dave. A clean house. I'd be okay if they were both gone and get some guys in here that know how to win and pick football. Get good GM and coach. Get them
Right.
in here.
Yep.
Well said, guys. You have a good one. Take care.